Hate to break this to you, but you are not immune to abuse because you were smarter or you have discernment in any way.
This sounds so compelling, but it subtly reinforces a very dangerous mindset, one where we're powerless and where our emotions override our standards, and where abuse is just something that you simply fall into, which is not the case. Hi, my name is Precious, and one of my bachelor's of science is in psychology, and I'm also a psychology graduate student. I'm actually graduating this fall. Let's talk more about this first video. Yes, the truth is hard to hear, but it's so much more empowering. Our emotions are strong, but they're not stronger than the systems and the standards that we build for ourselves. If you're constantly walking into toxic situations, it's not because you're cursed, but it's because something in you needs healing and your boundaries need to be strengthened. This video is not victim blaming. A victim is someone who has no power in a situation, someone who was blindsided, someone who was cornered, and someone who is truly out of options. A lot of people think that they are victims when in reality they are not. They saw the red flags and they chose to ignore it. Their intuition was telling them something different and they silenced it. They saw the patterns and they chose to rationalize it. We need to start holding space for the truth instead of pretending like things just happen to you. Being vulnerable to harm is part of being human, but staying vulnerable to that same cycle without any self-reflection, that is not fate, that is a choice. Let me be clear. Boundaries does not provide the likelihood that you'll never get hurt. However, it radically reduces the chance that you will. It's like having a strong immune system. If you have a strong immune system, it doesn't prevent every illness, but it makes it a lot harder for you to get taken out by something preventable. For me personally, I have systems, values, and boundaries in place that radically reduces the likelihood of abusers being in my circles, yet alone a romantic partner. If I choose to disobey those boundaries and rules that I have set for myself, and I find myself in a detrimental, toxic, and abusive relationship, it will be a lot harder to leave. And I know that I'm not strong enough to leave by myself. So what do? I set systems in place that filtered those type of individuals so that I never find myself in those situations. Having high self-worth is a filter. Having high standards, having high self-esteem is a filter. It's a protection mechanism. When you truly and deeply love yourself, you move differently. You ask better questions. You pause when things feel off. And also, you don't let charisma override consistency. Be honest with yourself. If you want to stop repeating those same detrimental patterns, you have to stop justifying it by taking accountability. Now, taking accountability does not mean blaming yourself for someone else's toxicity. That's not what it means. It means taking or acknowledging the role you're playing in your own suffering by either avoiding something or allowing it. Remember, you're not a victim. You have a choice. You have free will. So be smart. Love yourself. Apply wisdom. Have standards and boundaries in place. That is all for this video. Bye.